लाल रंग इसका अपार,
तीखा कम है फिर भी स्वाद,
बेमिसाल बेमिसाल MDH कश्मीरी,
MDH कश्मीरी।
MDH।
To the Saturday edition of This Is Exclusive with me, Shavinson. Multiple combing operations being carried out by the forces, and that's the reason why Pakistan is completely in a panic mode. Tonight on This Is Exclusive, we will also take you through the latest details now coming in. These details are not just of the operation that has been carried out, but also how Pakistan is responding now. Divisions are being moved. In fact, tonight on This Is Exclusive, we're going to take you through what's really happening in Jammu and Kashmir and how this is sending shiver down the spine of the Pakistani army. But up first, let's take you through the headlines we're tracking at this hour. Indian Army in action, door-to-door search operations underway in South Kashmir along with the Jammu and Kashmir police. Major crackdown on terror, overground workers linked to banned terror outfits being hunted down. Indian Army begins artillery drills along the line of control amid escalating tensions with Pakistan. Pakistan goes in a complete panic mode, moves army column to the line of control. Massive explosion in Iran's Bandar Abbas port, 4 deaths confirmed, over 500 people injured. We will hunt them down. Their sketches are now out. Ladies and gentlemen, those who are behind the Pahalgam attack are likely to be hunted down any time from now. In fact, information that we have with us is with regards to the multiple combing operations that are being carried out. Over a dozen operations have already been carried out in various districts of Kashmir. Massive operations are underway across Jammu and Kashmir. These, what we are going to see in a short while from now, are exclusive images that have been accessed by Republic TV for the door-to-door searches that have been carried out by the Jammu and Kashmir police. In fact, these are multiple raids at residence of terrorists, terror associates in Srinagar as well as in South Kashmir. I'm going to start with the first image that you're seeing on your screen right now. These are visuals of the searches that were carried out today in Srinagar. In fact, as you can see, Jammu and Kashmir police with all advanced technology carrying out these searches, because there are basically reports essentially coming in that several of these terror associates have been operating from South Kashmir itself. Right now on your screens, these are the latest images of the combing operation that was carried out earlier in the day. Mind you, all these images that we are showing right now, these are all deferred visuals. These are not operations that are going on as we speak, but these are operations that were carried out earlier, and now we have accessed these images just to give you a sense of how our forces, including the Jammu and Kashmir police, is in complete action mode right now, carrying out searches at multiple areas. In fact, Kulgam, Kupwara, Kishtwar, these are some of the places where searches have been carried out in the last 48 hours. This, what you see right now, is inside the home, the residence of one of the terror associates. In fact, we are given to understand 66 OGWs have been tracked down. We're going to take you through the details in a short while from now as far as the overground workers are concerned. But on your screens right now are the searches that are being carried out. These are door-to-door searches that are being carried out, which certainly isn't easy in the current circumstances. But remember, the Jammu and Kashmir police, along with the Indian Army, has also carried out multiple searches. But these searches are primarily being carried out by the SOG, the Special Operation Group of the Jammu and Kashmir police, carrying out the searches. We stay full frame with these visuals while we also go across to my colleague Zinat. Our Srinagar Bureau Chief joining us right now, getting us the latest details. Zeenat, images on our screens right now are of the door-to-door searches that have been carried out. Help us understand the number of searches that have been carried out. How far have the Jammu and Kashmir police been able to get to some sort of a logical conclusion?
See, Shravan, first of all, this is 64 is a huge number, and that you conduct the raids in one go. All the places were touched in the Srinagar city, from downtown Srinagar to uptown Srinagar. The searches were carried by the Srinagar police. Srinagar police, along with the SOGs, the cargo-based unit that carry the anti-terror operation, have specialization in, as known as the counter-terrorism grid. They have conducted the raids in the Srinagar city along. This was on the direction of the SSP Srinagar, Dr. Sandeep. Meanwhile, we are also seeing these so the places that were searched. They have the criminal records. They have the links with the terror associates. They have the links with the overground workers. These workers come from the outfits like JKLF, outfit known for Yasin Malik. Yasin Malik is the chief of band JKLF, then TRF, JEM, LET, and also TRF. These all outfits have been involved in multiple cases in the last 3 decades or so, particularly if we see the track record of Yasin Malik's JKLF, JEM, or the LET, and the mouthpieces of the Lashkar like TRF. These terror associates or the overground workers, they have been involved in the multiple crimes. Today, their doors were again knocked by the Srinagar police. They carried the length and breadth across. In Srinagar police carried the searches in all these areas, be it the uptowns, Chanapura, Batmalu, Zuni Marg, Safa Kadal, Khankai Maula, or the Babadam. All these areas were touched by the Srinagar police, because if you see the Srinagar's topography simply of the downtown, where you have the lanes, bylanes, and those bylanes and lanes are very narrow, that has always helped the terror outfits to make their escape. Once there used to be a coordinated search operation. Now, even the police would not dare to go in these lanes and bylanes. If you go through the chronology of the downtown of the Srinagar, where the attacks would carry against the security forces or the policemen. But this time, the Srinagar police is going all out and going inside all these lanes and bylanes. In fact, the terror associates and the overground workers have already been registered with the UAPA cases, and some of them are already languishing in the jail. Some of them had been taken. Some of their cases have also been taken up by the NIA.
Zina, I'll request you to stay on with us, because what I'm going to do right now is going to take our viewers through the details of the operations that have been carried out. Who are these overground workers? How are they all connected? This is extremely important to understand, as my colleague Zeenat was also pointing out, because we are talking about searches that have been carried out in one single day. What you see right now is the raids that have been carried out at the houses of 64 terror associates. They are also known as the overground workers. They are essentially those who have been aiding the terrorists, particularly in moving around. Remember, in the valley itself, it hasn't been easy, and that is the reason why, remember, the kind of logistical support that has been provided are provided by these overground workers. They are active in Jammu and Kashmir. They are on the radar. In fact, they've been identified in thousands. In fact, they've already been identified lengths on the terror associates of the band outfits. We're going to take you through which are the outfits with which they have been associated, along with the Lashkar-e-Toiba, as well as Jaish-e-Mohammed, Hizbul Mujahideen. You also have the ISJK as well as the JKLF. TRF again happens to be one of the offshoots of the Lashkar-e-Toiba, and they are all OGWs who have been working off as far as they are concerned. They have all been hunted down by the force. OGWs who have been working here, and without their support, remember, the movement of these terrorists could not have been possible, and that is the reason why the Jammu and Kashmir police is now basically looking at targeting them. Let's also take you through some more breaking news now coming in with regards to how they are connected, because there are cases that have already been registered against them. It turns out that they have essentially been able to track them down, look at their past cases that have been registered against them. There is also the Public Safety Act that has been brought into the picture. In fact, as my colleague has been pointing out, UAPA sections have also been invoked. In fact, OGWs have already been booked. Zina, just a quick response from you. with regards to the total number, because there is a lot of confusion. Initially, we were told that 250 have already been questioned. So what's the current situation? How many have been detained? How many have been arrested? And the fact that, does that mean that the Jammu and Kashmir police right now has credible link to hunt down the attackers involved in Pahalgam?
See, the raids are being conducted across Kashmir Valley only to hunt down those perpetrators who have carried this gruesome attack. As far as the numbers are concerned, we see in Srinagar some 63 people, their residences have been scanned and searches. Even the digital evidences have been collected from the places. Then if we go to the South Kashmir has the districts like Pulwama, then you have Shopian, Kulgam, then Avantipur, Anantnag. These are the 4 districts of the South Zone. There 175 people have been interrogated so far. So if you count 175 plus 63, it is somewhere coming around more than 260 people have been questioned.
So that's
in
the breaking
all
news.
these days. The 170 coming from the
263
Anantnag in the last 3 days. And
so you're saying over 200 have been already questioned in the last 3 days, if I'm correct. That's the breaking news now coming in.
Yes, Shravan. This is a figure that is officially there because Srinagar police has officially said that it is around 64 people they have been questioning and the searches were conducted. And this is not the normal crackdown on the terror. Normal people, in fact, the people's inconvenience was also seen, that people should not feel any inconvenience during the raid. So only those who are the listed in the diaries of the Srinagar police, only those were touched. So police is going very specifically penetrating to those who have the criminal records or who are based in Srinagar with the logistics of the terror outfits. So that is the point that has been taken into account when Srinagar police carried today's raids.
Well, thank you very much, Zeerath, for getting us the latest details. The breaking news now coming in on This Is Exclusive. Over 200 have already been booked. They are all OGWs that have been booked so far. Let's now quickly move to the other big story that we're getting you tonight on This Is Exclusive. India has now begun the diplomatic strike against terror-sponsor state Pakistan. And amid the escalating tensions between the two nations, India is already preparing as far as the military front is concerned. There have been multiple ceasefire violations that have taken place along the line of control in the last few days itself, what is known as speculative firing on the part of the Pakistani. Indian forces have basically retaliated, gave a befitting reply. In fact, as we speak, remember over the last few hours, last few days, there have been multiple drills that have been carried out. Indian Army has conducted 3-day-long artillery drills along the line of control to prepare for any mischievous attempt from across the border. The drills were carried out earlier. We're not putting out the details of when, where these drills have been carried out. We are just putting out the exclusive images of the drills that have been carried out earlier. Just to give you a sense of how prepared our forces are right now and why exactly in a short while from now you'll really know that Pakistan is in a complete panic mode. This is why. In the visuals, you can see heavy artillery firing drills that are being conducted in the forward areas that are close to Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. We're going to also tell you how the civilians are responding, but I want to stay with these visuals first. I'm not very sure right now if we can just play out the visuals, because I could also hear there are artillery firing that you can hear. They are for 10 seconds. Hear them out. Okay, so what you see right now on your screens, this is the drill that has been carried out earlier in the day, and this is from one of the forward location area. I'm going to play that out once again. I'm going to play this out once again for you to just get a sense of how the army is basically ensuring they're carrying out all these drills, sending across a message. This is all done with a sublime message to the Pakistanis that just be prepared. Well, in fact, now let's take you through, fearing a strong retaliation from the Indian forces. What has essentially happened, Pakistan has already responded, which I'm going to play out in a short while from now. that how Pakistan is responding to these very drills that are being carried out and what's really happening on the other side. That I'm going to play out in a short while from now. But before that, take a look at how our civilians are really preparing for it. The unfortunate part is because of this, what is happening in the border, the civilians are certainly having a tough time. But they say they are all prepared and that they are standing firm with the Indian Army. This is a report coming in from the international border.
हमारे को ये कहा गया कि रेंज से तब मत जाओ, 4 बजे तक नहीं जाएंगे हम इधर, उसके बाद जाना ही पड़ेगा इधर, क्यों लकड़ी इधर से लाते हैं हम, पानी इधर से मिलता है, घास इधर से मिलता है, पशु हमारे इधर भाग जाते हैं, क्या करें, जो मदद है हम करेंगे, जो मांग के हिसाब से मदद हम देंगे। गोलू की बातें आती रहती हैं, फोटो पड़ जाती हैं, बच्चे रोने शुरू हो जाते हैं, सोते भी नहीं है बच्चे दुआके के साथ।
Days after Pahalgam terror attack, now the border security force has downscaled the beating the retreat ceremony, wherein no celebration or any of the cultural program is being allowed. Right now we are at the Indo-Pakistan border in the Octroi, where you will see that the border security force has been deployed and the security grid has been now strengthened. The BSF troops are keeping a strict vigil on each and every movement, and also this place from where the Indo-Pakistan international border is just 100 meters ahead. The Indo-Pakistan first line of defense of the India, 100-meter ahead board that you see, and now a lock has been placed at this gate because this gate leads to the zero line. But as a precautionary measure to actually decimate any attempt of the adversary Pakistan that may attempt to disrupt peace or to target the civilians, those who go for the forward area, the border area, the zero line access has been now restricted for the civilians, and it has completely been blocked till the time we have seen the attempts or the situation de-escalates on the international border. This decision has been taken by the border security force in view of the security of the civilians that goes to the zero line, but there is nothing that the trust can be done on the Pakistani side, and that's why the decision has been taken that there will be no movement, and also downscaling the beating the retreat ceremony here at the international border.
Now let me tell you how Pakistan is responding to all of this. They are in a complete panic mode. The reason being, in the last 48 hours, there have been multiple movements that are actually taking place. In a short while from now, I'm going to tell you what's happening right at the line of control and why exactly Pakistan has suddenly started moving their army divisions. In fact, there are 2 army divisions that have already been moved. So much so, these latest images that we are going to show you is a clear indication that Pakistan is worried. Pakistan is nervous. Pakistan is completely jittery. They know that something big is going to happen. And how exactly would they really respond? Because they're not prepared at all. And that is the reason why what they've essentially been doing over the last 24 hours, a little over 24 hours actually, where they have indulged or resorted to speculative firing. They basically trying to target our Indian posts, hoping that there will be some sort of a retaliation, hoping to find out how exactly will India really respond. Yes, of course, we have responded. We have retaliated well. We have retaliated hard, strong, and ensured that the Indian posts are absolutely safe. But this has basically resulted in a situation that Pakistan is currently, what you are seeing right now on your screens, they have basically increased their deployment. In fact, 2 army divisions have been moved. Can we also put this on our breaking grid right now? The 2 army divisions of Pakistan have actually been moved to the line of control. I'm told that division number 34 of the Pakistani army has actually been moved. Right now on our screens, we're going to just stay with this. Pakistan ISI is also worried because they do not know what's going to really come right now. Let me go across to my colleague Gursimran. We'll stay full frame with these visuals coming in. Gursimran, I'm given to understand that at least 2 divisions have already moved of the Pakistani army. As far as the Navy is concerned and the Air Force is concerned, I'm not very well versed with it right now, but I can at least say this from my sources that Pakistan has already moved 2 divisions. Can you add to the information that I have with me right now in terms of the movement, and also help us describe the images that we are playing out right now for our viewers, where these visuals from and what does this indicate?
Shawan, what has happened that after India's response, the diplomatic response that India has given to the Pakistan after the Pahalgam terror attack, the Pakistan is now rattled, and they know that the India will hit back because they know what the past has been, be it 2016 Uri terror attack when India responded 10 days after the attack, or 2019 Pulwama terror attack when India responded 12 days after the attack. Now the Pakistan is in shambles. They know that their internal situation is not good. So what they are doing, that they are preparing themselves for everything that is coming, and that's why 2 divisions of the Pakistani army have been moved from the headquarters of the Pakistani army towards the line of control. This has been done as Pakistan is of the view that India will strike back Pakistan, and strike back in such a manner that Pakistan needs an additional deployment to at least safeguard themselves from the India's wrath. Second, as you mentioned, that there has been a deployment of the Pakistan when it comes to the Pakistani Air Force. There have been regular movement of the Pakistani Air Force operating from the Pakistan's Noor Khan Air Base in Rawalpindi towards the line of control and the international border area, because they want to keep an eye that what India is doing, and so does is the case of the Pakistani intelligence agency ISI, that has deployed their additional staff to the 13 Chenab Rangers area, that is in the Jammu international border, that are keeping an eye on the movement that is taking place on the Indian side. Because see, Pakistan knows that the India's top leadership has made it amply clear to them that India will track, hunt and will punish the perpetrators, backer and also the supporters and handlers of these terrorists who have carried out the Pahalgam terror attack. So Pakistan is well aware that the backers are there back in Pakistan. They want to safeguard themselves, and that's why they are keeping a surveillance on the movement of Indian side. But Indian side say that they are well aware, and a high alert has been sounded on the Indo-Pakistan international border in the Jammu region.
Well, 2 army divisions have been moved. Pak Army after the Navy, which basically carried out a failed test of the Karachi coast. Now you have the Pakistan Army not realizing what's going to really come forward, whether it's going to be a surgical strike or whether it's going to be a rerun of what happened as far as Balakot is concerned, or would it be that the entire terror infrastructure is completely dismantled, destroyed by the forces? What's going to come? And that's the reason why there was a National Security Council meeting that was actually called by the Pakistan Prime Minister. In fact, he's saying that let's have a neutral probe. Now that's how worried they are, because they now have actually pushed TRF, that's the offshoot of Lashkar, to actually withdraw the statement, saying that they did not even carry out the Pahalgam attack. So that's a clear indication of how nervous Pakistan is right now. Let me just quickly go across to my colleague Gursimran. Gursimran, it seems that the National Security Council meeting has also been called in. They are taking stock of the situation. What's really happening with the Pakistani army chief? Because it seems after that stupid statement that he made with regards to Kashmir, the jugular vein statement that was made, he's gone completely silent. Is it because there is a lot of backlash right now in Pakistan?
See, now the Pakistani army knows that it is the Pakistani army that has to face the Indian army, because when the statement was made, it was only the political leadership of the Pakistan that has to make, because it was a statement that was made by the Pakistani army chief, and there was nothing situation escalating on the international border or on the line of control. So Pakistan army was it was just that he made, the Pakistani army chief made the statement, and it was for the political parties or the government of Pakistan to see what will be the repercussions for them. But now the situation has completely changed. It's now the onus lies completely on the Pakistani army, and that's why you see that even during the passing out parade there was no speech of the Pakistani army chief. It was only the Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif who spoke about various issues, including that of the Indus Water Treaty kept in abeyance by the Indian side. So Pakistani army is now on back foot. They want that at least they should be safe. That is actually what they are hoping for. Otherwise there has been not even a single appearance of the Pakistani army chief.
Thank you very much, Gursimran, for getting us the latest details on This Is Exclusive. Tonight we have got you what is inside Pakistan. Over the next few days on This Is Exclusive, we're going to get you a full ground report and how exactly are the Pakistani army particularly is responding to it. The internal details will be out on This Is Exclusive. That's all that we could pack in this edition.
आज दही बड़ा खाने का मन है। वाह क्या स्वाद! असली स्वाद तो MDH दही वड़ा रायता मसाले से ही आता है।
MDH